Are you stuck at home in lockdown? Yeah, I know, we all are. Don't worry, we've got you covered because it's time once again for Live at Night with Pete Ferrero.
Don't you want to be like, I don't give a shit?
Send me your address. I'll be
is.
happy to send you a copy.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. And so, and I paid for it. So that's just lovely. No.
I'm on, okay, what's that? I'm live at night.
Where whatever happens, happens. Now, along with his special guests, here's your host, Pete Ferrero.
Welcome to Live at Night. I'm just pulling this up so I can follow along. Oops, that's always a thing here. With my good friend, Tony Magia, one of my best friends in the whole world. I don't know if you watched last night's episode, but just an update. We are doing something new where we have people just randomly pop in. It's called the pop-in.
Pop in, the pop-up and the pop-in.
Yeah, every once in a while, somebody might come in. It has nothing to do maybe with the Easter traditions show that we're doing today. There you go. That's the
That's a pop. That's the popping sound.
That's the noise.
When they pop in, you gotta pop them.
You gotta hit that
the bell.
button. Anyway, it's good to have you here, just the two of us today. You know, doing. By the way, Siri everything I just said. It just wrote it, and that look, right? Look at this. It made it a comment too. Isn't that outrageous? Thank you, Siri. Right. Getting things right. I got a busy week of live at nights now. Before we get into Easter traditions, listen, man, we both were doing podcasts prior to the coronavirus, or as other people call it, this other name for a virus. But
what's that? What's the other name?
The Chinese virus. But so, we were doing podcasts and I know yours was, I'm just moving my light a little closer. You were even doing like going into restaurants. You were, obviously making the rounds. You went to some really cool places, and I want you to talk a little bit about that too. But then we both got into this place of, oh shit, we can't do podcasts anymore because, people don't know, we don't know when we're going to ever be able to go out again.
Yeah.
I went to the city and interviewed the director of Clue, and I had some fun and all that. So, I mean, now, who knows when the next time we're going to be out is, right? So
hopefully soon.
Yeah. But so anyway, this sort of forced our hands into looking for something to do maybe, right? And we both started doing our podcasts live. You're on YouTube because you can't get the Facebook link working. Thank you, Zoom, for really being on top of that. And I'm on Facebook, and I started to do this Live at Night show. And at first it was just silly, and now it's become something that I just genuinely love doing, It
becomes something more because it's become like a part of your stable of things that you do.
Yes. And it's what's really interesting too. I was just telling Christina before that I feel like in these uncertain times, it's the one certain thing that I'm working on nightly. It doesn't matter really who my guests are. It could be just some friends. It could be Tuesday. I'm plugging away at having the two executive producers from 90210, right? We're gonna do a whole Q&A. We're gonna let some fans pop in. They don't even know that the producers are gonna be on. So, well, now they do. But so we're doing some fun things tomorrow. I've got Art Sutley finally back, Bar Biz Magazine. We're going to be talking about the bar business.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So then we're doing a records one later this week as well. And then I'm going to try to get, she doesn't know yet, but I'm going to ask Hillary Sterling to come on Thursday's show.
She doesn't know yet.
No, she doesn't know that I'm going to ask her yet. And she's going to do like a live cooking demo. I want to try to get some of those going. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, but because of this, our hands were forced, right? And now we're doing live shows every night. Now I told you, you did this smart thing this weekend. You bailed on all shows, right? You were just like Easter weekend. Total respect. I now said I cannot do a live at night every night like this. It is going to kill me, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, who's going to be the guest tonight? Right? It's like it's psychotic in the morning. I'm like scrounging for guests.
Yeah.
So I'm now going to go Sunday to Thursday, taking Friday and Saturday off so I can just kick back. If something pops up, because this is the pop-up podcast that brings you Live at Night, I will do a special one. But for the most part, I'm going to just do rock Sunday, Thursday. Now, before we get into Easter traditions, tell me about what you've been doing with your podcast.
So mine has been kind of concentrating on the Italian American or the Italian what would you say? I don't know the actual word it would be like, just kind of like how the Italians are adapting to the pandemic. So whether it's a restaurateur, we did something about saints.
Nice.
We covered. We did some Easter stuff last week about the different liturgical, more at the Roman Catholic end of it, like
Yes.
what they did for Good Friday, Holy Thursday, and
I
Easter.
love this. Yeah.
So that's kind of what my concentration has been, because, like you said, my actual podcast, I go out on the street. I mean, not on the street, but I go to a restaurant. I go to today. I released one that was at a bakery in Staten Island, Alfonso's. Well, actually, they filmed. You remember Easy Money? Remember the movie Easy Money?
Yes, I love that movie. Yes.
Yes, so that's where they're carrying out the wedding cake. They're knocking the old lady over.
I love that. I love that movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was today, and then unfortunately, I can't get out anymore. I mean,
Right.
I can get out, but you can't get out to record because they don't want more than how many people in a restaurant and in the store.
Right.
So we have to adapt to the time. So is this ideal? No, not really. But is it fun? Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having a blast doing this show at this point. It's like I said, it's given us both a little bit of purpose in a uncertain
Purposeless world.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a obviously it's a bigger issue with the virus, and I was talking to my friend Dom Civilli, who
Dom.
director, a DP friend of mine, and we were just talking about how I kind of feel like nobody is that we have a lot of industry people on you as well talking about how it's affected their businesses or how it's affected their lives, but the one thing that we're not talking about, and I think maybe some of us are at a little bit of a loss at, is how it's affecting actual people that either have the virus and the effects of that on their body and what the health situation is, but then also the effect of people. I know you talked about with the Food Friends, people passing away with this virus, and I'm seeing a lot more posts about this one passed away, that one passed away, and it's in this kind of coronavirus epidemic. So there is that very real side of this thing too.
Oh no, it's I mean, I'll be honest with you, in the beginning I said, this is going to be like the flu, this is going to it's going to go away in a month, this is nothing, and then you saw what it did to Italy.
Yes.
I mean, what it did to China, never mind, but what it did to Italy to
China
Spain.
may have done it to themselves, but that's a whole other
that's a different
that's a different podcast.
Podcast.
We'll let the two Bills from the politics do their
that's but what it did to Italy, and then wow, it comes here.
Do you have anything? Are you drinking anything tonight? No. What do you got?
Water.
Cheers.
Aqua.
Yeah.
Cheers. Salud.
Mm-hmm.
What it's doing in our backyard here in North Jersey and New York City.
Yeah.
It's I mean, and the thing is, okay, so it doesn't affect that many younger people. Maybe they're asymptomatic, but scary thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The scary thing is that you go and visit your grandmother who's 80, 90 years old, and you're carrying a disease. You give her a kiss hello. You give her literally the kiss of death.
You're giving her the virus. Giving her
the kiss of death.
Yes.
So that's the scary thing. I mean, so to me it is very serious. And now I've known personally 3 people that have passed away,
and I know a couple as well. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're getting hit in the head over here.
Yeah. And it is obviously upset the apple cart on so many different traditional things. As you've done, shows with people in the restaurant industry, as I've done that as well. I've done interviews with the bar industry. Last night I did a show with the travel industry and the wedding industry. So the small businesses are just shattered. I mean, even the large businesses are sort of shattered. Some celebrity chefs maybe not coming back with their restaurants, which is absolutely insane. But it's also sort of broken into the traditions, right? Okay, this is an Easter, and I think everybody was like, okay, this has got to be resolved by Easter. But it is not resolved by Easter, and maybe some more holidays down the line we're also going to have some trouble with, right?
That's a good point. I mean, it's more of a federal holiday, but I think that Memorial Day is going to be affected.
Definitely.
I don't know if the beaches are going to be open by Memorial Day.
So on the note of Easter traditions, I figured it would be great to have you on the show because today is Easter. There's a lot going on. I want to know, first of all, you're obviously very big in your church and whatnot, and in that world. How did churches handle, for the most part, this weekend's? First of all, churches are all closed at this point, right?
Yeah. I mean, if they're open, it's kind of against the law in a way, because and it isn't like it's like something against freedom of religion, because that's not what it's about. It's about it's the chance that if you have too many people in one area, you're going to easily pass this virus around. And a lot of people that do
Right.
go to church are a little bit older. So there's a chance that you're going to, kind of take out a congregation, which is terrible.
Right, which you don't want to do. Right. Mhm.
No. So for me, believe me, I love I love church. I love going to church.
No, I know. I mean, you normally would be at church every freaking week.
Oh, I would have been at every. I would have been at church every day.
Friday.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So,
but so now you have to adapt to how are you going to celebrate what we call in the Roman Catholic faith the Mass or the holy sacrifice of the Mass. So how are you going to do that when you're home?
right.
So a lot of churches, a lot of dioceses, they're smart. They are going online. So they're becoming with the 21st century. So they're streaming masses on YouTube. You can watch it on the regular TV here. And I know WPIX Pix Channel 11.
Nice.
They had St. Patrick's Cathedral with the Cardinal. So that's what I watched today. But still for me, it's to be in the church. It isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot watch it. I just, for me, it's tough.
Now, one note on that. I will say this. Obviously, we both feel that religion is missing, right, from people, right? So, and to have to go to church, right? It's I don't want to say it's a hassle, because it's not a hassle for you.
No.
But for younger people, perhaps it is. I am not going to church. You know what I mean? But the fact that some of these places now, because of this epidemic, are now offering a live stream of their masses, perhaps this opens the door for more people to have the opportunity to take it into their lives at a moment's notice. You know what I mean? Whether it be a morning Sunday mass, or maybe it's a new way of life for churches.
I mean, I agree with that to the extent that if you cannot get out of your house. So if you're older, if you're homebound, if you're disabled, yeah, that's great. And I'm glad that they're doing this. But the thing is, like I said, especially for a Catholic, it's a requirement that we have to actually physically go to mass.
Especially on Friday, this particular weekend.
Yeah, this is like the Super Bowl, the
Super
World
Bowl
Series.
Church. Right. Yeah.
It's every big major sporting event. This is it. This is the most important weekend or week for especially for Roman Catholics.
Yes.
So this is a huge week. And really it goes back 2,000 years. You're going back to the time of Jesus Christ himself. So I mean to for the first time in my life, the first time in 38 years, 37 years that, I wasn't able to go to Easter Mass. It just like, especially as an Italian American, Italians are pretty much into their, they like the faith, they like the stuff like that. So it's like getting stabbed in the heart. They call it adolorata.
Okay.
I think of Our Lady. It's called Our Lady of Sorrow. She was stabbed in her heart.
Okay.
That's kind of what it feels like. That you cannot celebrate this beautiful holiday.
Right.
In a place where you should.
So what did you do today?
So
what did you do over the weekend in terms of church? What did you watch?
Let's see. Thursday night I watched the Diocese of Bridgeport. Bishop Caggiano, he had a mass. Friday I watched my friar friends. They did they call it the 7 last words of Jesus. So the 7 words that Jesus says on the cross, they kind of dissect it and they give you a homily about it. Beautiful. Yeah. Yesterday I didn't watch I watched a little bit of one of the vigils, but then today I watched St. Patrick's. And I pretty much ate all weekend. That's nice. That's one thing I did do. I did do a lot of eating. Right.
So I mean, it's another one of the weekends that's a huge food weekend for, and going back actually, we all missed St. Patrick's weekend as well because of the virus as well. So, well, that's not a big deal for you as an Italian, but for the
although he was Italian, St. Patrick was Italian.
But for the Irish, every year I go to the Crow's Nest for unlimited corned beef. I don't always do the cabbage, but I do the unlimited corned beef. Mm-hmm. And this year they were closed. There was no unlimited corned beef. So that was already like one of those food traditions totally screwed up.
Yep.
Now you are not going to be making for a lot of people this weekend, right? You can't have people over.
No. So we the only way that we saw people was through Zoom.
Right. There was this wonderful service that would not allow me on Facebook the other day. Right. Yeah. No, yeah. So all right, talk to me about food traditions. What are some of the food traditions that you're rolling with? Is there anything that you cut that you normally would do because you have a group of people that you're going to see? Talk to me about some of that stuff.
I mean, usually on Easter Sunday we'll have the lamb. and
Yes.
we'll do like a big leg of lamb, or so this year because it was me and my wife. I decided to do something easy. I did a pork roast, and
So no lamb.
no lamb this year. I went super
What the
easy.
fuck, Aunt? What are you doing?
I went
just
I
get a
went
picture
simple.
of a lamb and put it up. You know, like I know one group that's very happy about this is the lambs,
The lambs, they're happy.
right?
Yeah, they but you see, but that's actually that's interesting because we talked a little bit about this the other night with Lance, how they
Right.
still have to raise these animals.
That's right. Yes.
So they still have to
Can't
feed
kill
the
'em.
animal. Yeah.
Like,
So I mean, you see, it's how it's affecting everybody.
yes.
Literally,
Yes. Even the animal. Yeah. The animal
even the
gets
animal.
the animal gets a stay of execution. I think. Right. Yeah.
Maybe for a week or two.
Right. But the people are still looking to buy food too. So I mean,
Oh, yeah,
they're
of
going to
course.
be needed at some point. So
I
you
mean-
skipped the lamb this year.
Yeah. So we just did. Actually, I went to my local butcher, Pepe's. I'm gonna plug this guy. Pepe's, great guy.
Okay,
Garfield,
you
New
said you
Jersey.
just went to him. So now, what is that experience going to the butcher shop? Is everybody on top of each other? Is everybody
No,
social
no.
distancing? Are you wearing a mask? What is it like?
Okay, so I'll tell you. So I went.
Yeah.
I went Monday. I went. I think he was closed Monday. So I went Tuesday. I said, Mr. Pepe, I said I need a pork roast for Easter. So I was the only one in the shop at that time. It was right after work. It was about, I don't know what time it was. Maybe it was 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And he goes, okay, when do you need it for? I said, can you get it for me on Saturday? He goes, absolutely. He goes, what do you want? You want it stuffed? I said, yeah, stuff it. He goes, what do you want it stuffed with? I said, stuff it what you usually do. So he usually does a little prosciutto cotto, which I cook
Love it.
ham,
Yeah.
some provolone, a little bit of spices, and he rolls it up, ties it, gives it to you. I mean, literally took 1 hour at 400 degrees, perfectly. You know, because pork, you can have a little tinge of pink in it.
Always.
Perfectly cooked. And the flavor, oh, Peter, it was out of this world.
Now, okay, so that was one dish that you made.
Yeah.
I know for my family, one of the most popular dishes that we always make, and I think you have it, is the pizza gang, right?
Yes, I have it. I
Now-
have.
Did you make your? Yeah. So where is this pizza gang from?
So this is from Palazzone. Palazzone is in Wayne, New Jersey.
Nice.
So I got the pizza again, and I have the dessert. It's called pastiera.
Mm.
So I brought both of those to show and tell today.
Yeah, love it. Yeah.
So unfortunately, I can't feed you, Peter. I can't.
No, I know. Oh yeah, and I'm going to ask you about Zoom Easter, but tell me about how does that dish, the pizza gana, how does that, or my aunt, my uncle, the pizza gang, like
Pizza
that.
gang, yeah.
Yeah. But how does that dish become? I don't know. I'm sure you're versed on this topic. How did that become a traditional Easter dish, Italian Easter dish? You don't know.
My friend Patrick O'Boyle, he is the authority on pizza gana. But just what I
Patrick,
do,
are you watching? Let us know. Yeah.
what I do know is that usually it's kind of it's like a meat pie. It's a meat and cheese pie. So when you think about it, Easter is a time of celebration, a time when you could have a little bit more food. So it's
Right.
a time that you could load up on the fatty food. So they would make this usually it's like a crust. It's kind of hard to see it here, but so
yeah.
it's
There you go.
literally this camera's
Push that right in. Push that right in there. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God.
So this it has I'm trying to think what this has ham. Looks like
Definitely.
salami, some cheese.
A lot of ricotta cheese.
Yeah, and they mix it up with egg. Egg is kind of like the
Yes.
binder. My family, when we make it, we put a pepperoni in it too.
Nice. Yes. And interestingly enough, my mom makes it for me every year, and I'm in LA this year. So I don't have it, and I can't, I probably would have flew back for Easter if I'm being totally honest with you, so that I would have had it. But because of the virus and everything else, and there's no flight.
Do you
So,
know if places out there make it?
I mean, man, I'm sure they do, but with everything being closed and the way it is
Yeah.
right now, it's really hard to get. So what I did was I asked my mom for her recipe, and she sent me a little printed sheet, via email or text, which she's horrific at. I'm going to show you how my family Zoom. We're going to try this share screen in a second here, and I'm going to show you how my family rocked Easter today. I'm going to try to pull that. Let me see here if I can pull that. How technically savvy. I will show you in a second. But so anyway, she sent me all the ingredients, and then I was like, fuck, where am I going to get these ingredients?
Yeah.
I found a little Italian marketplace out here in LA. It was jam packed, which was outrageous to me. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I mean, it was a very small store to begin with. It was like totally opposite of your butcher shop. I didn't know what to do. People came in with the guy was wearing a mask, and they would take it off and put the mask back on and put the mask. I was like, I said, we got to get out of here. So we went to a grocery store, and I did my. They don't have all the Jersey ricotta cheeses and all those kinds of things. You know what I mean?
Really?
But I mean, it's not the brands that I'm used to. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But I will say I made it. From my first try, it came out good. I probably needed another try, and I would have
But
perfected.
you did it. You did
Yeah,
it.
I did do it. Yeah.
That's the most important thing is you did it.
Right. And I think though, because of the virus, this is now something that I now know how to make. That maybe I can bring into my tradition in my family as I move forward. You know what I mean with my life. Yeah.
That to me is the most important thing is at least to be able to try. I mean, I know it was tough for you to find the ingredients. That's why, to be honest with you, I didn't even try this year.
Right.
I wasn't gonna fight, going to the supermarket,
Right. Because even if I was in New Jersey, there's a chance that I wouldn't be able to get the ingredients for the Pizzagana because supermarkets have nothing. I can't even get an Amazon Fresh delivery to my house. Yeah, I mean the times that you have to try to schedule the times it's like winning the lottery almost.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. But I say like.
No, it's
why
okay.
am I yawning?
Okay.
Oh my God!
It's the Easter. It's the end of
It's
Easter.
crazy. It's crazy. I'm tired from doing nothing. I mean, that's the sad part of it. Although I did get up early this morning. I made a nice bacon and egg sandwich. A nice crusty Italian bread.
Ooh, I love that.
I
love
good.
that.
Yesterday I made pancakes and bacon.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So this is the cool thing about the virus. There's nothing cool about it, but about being home, I'm sure you're making things that maybe you would go out for. Maybe you're experimenting more in the kitchen. Is that something that's happening with you?
I'd say yes and no. Because the problem is, Peter. When I cook, I like to try different weird recipes and stuff like that. And the problem is, I don't always have all that stuff stocked in my pantry.
Right.
So, for example, like yesterday, I wanted to make they're like the Italian, like the lemon. It's like a cookie with the lemon glaze on top. I didn't have any baking powder at home, which I usually have, but I guess we used it. We finished it. I never replaced it.
Wow.
So when I went to pick up the meat at the bakery, I said, sometimes he has a little bit of dry good stuff, some pastas and stuff. I said, do you have baking powder? He goes, we sold out. I'm like, son of a gun. So then I went to the actual bakery. I said, okay, bakery.
They have to have it.
Powder, they got to have it. Oh, we don't have it. We sell yeast.
Oh, my God.
We sell flour. So they didn't have it. And then as I was driving home, I passed by the supermarket. I said, no, I'm not even going to.
No, you can't. Now, I did go into the supermarket.
For one thing.
And I had to wait in a line to get into the supermarket out here in LA. And that was nerve-wracking because who's walking around with masks? And I feel horrific. Like you said.
Are you wearing a mask there?
Not right now, but yes, I am wearing a mask.
We should be wearing a mask.
We should put our masks on. Yeah.
Put the mask.
So then you. What else did you make? Did you make any other things for the
for Easter? For Easter, no. We just made some roast with the pork. I roasted potatoes. I roasted some onions.
Yeah.
But what I do with I don't know if it's something special. It's simple, really simple. When I roast potatoes, and I like to roast potatoes and onions. You see, it's kind of like a weird combo, but. A lot of oil, minced garlic, paprika, smoked paprika, like that Hungarian smoked paprika, because it gives you a little bit like that smoky flavor. Salt, pepper. If I have it, I'll use like some dried oregano, and I put it around the pork loin. Pop that in the oven, and that I cooked a little bit less than the pork because it was getting nice and brown,
right,
and charred. So I took that out maybe the last 15, 20 minutes before the pork was done. And I put that in a bowl with a cover on it. Oh, actually, what I did make yesterday was pizza.
That's where I was waiting for you to go to. So yeah. So what made you make the pizza? I thought you were, because my mom's recipe says you can get a pizza dough for the pizza game.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't want to do a dough, make a dough or whatever, you can make a dough from scratch for sure. But so she has sometimes gotten pizza dough. So I thought you were using your pizza dough for your what do you call it?
For pizza game?
Yeah.
A friend of mine, he was on my podcast last week or the week before, and he has a business called the Atlanta Pizza Truck out of Atlanta, Georgia. And he actually makes.
I don't want to give you the virus. Sorry.
I know. Yeah. Put the mask on. So he actually has this. He sells this. It's a mix. It's a flour mix for a Neapolitan style pizza. So he sent me a bag of it, and all you had to do was add a little bit of oil, which I know they say technically is not Neapolitan style, but whatever.
Whatever.
So you add a
right.
little bit of oil, and you add the water. You mix it by hand, and then you let it rise 2 days, and it was beautiful. The dough was beautiful, and then I just I went to go see Mike Carino yesterday.
Oh, I love Mike. Yeah.
So I
A
picked
regular. Yeah. And Mike, if you're
So-
watching, we will definitely talk tomorrow. Yes. Yes.
So I picked up. Actually, it was crazy. I called. We were driving around a little bit to get some air, and I called. I needed mozzarella. So I don't get mozzarella at the supermarket because it tastes like crap in plain English.
Right.
So I like to go to a deli. So I said,
I'm with you on that.
We were in that Nutley area driving around, and so I said, let me call up Mike and see if he has it.
Yeah.
They just finished stretching it. So when he gave it to me, it was like burning my hand. Like it was
love
still
it.
hot. Oh, it was so fresh. It was so good. He makes some awesome mozzarella. Mike's Pasta and Sandwich Shop, Harrison Street or Harrison Avenue in Nutley, New Jersey.
We're always plugging Mike, man. I think he's a good dude. You know, I mean,
And he
I
is.
think
We had a good conversation when I was there. I was there for a couple of minutes. We were just talking, just catching up a little bit.
yeah. I love
Other than on a show.
I love having him on here. He's such an authentic person. It's so hard to find authenticity. Anyway, so then at some point you get everybody together on a Zoom chat.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. Oh, that's good, man.
It's
Oh man.
it's my favorite thing in the
Oh,
world, really.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
what
so
is that? What is that experience like for you?
It's weird. It's really weird when you're so used to being with your family on a holiday,
Yeah.
and then you're like you see them, but you can't.
Right. I think what's missing from this, and there's no way to handle this, but like when you're at a dinner, when you're at family dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all hanging out, right? So if I want to have a side conversation with you in the other room, we go in the other room and we talk. Hey, remember the game that we went to? Blah, 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 whatever it is, you know. And then down the other end of the table, they're talking about another thing.
Yeah.
These virtual dinners, it's almost becomes like a show. Right, because there's got to be one person that sort of leads it and guides it, and and we're all talking about the same thing. So we're really kind of losing that what a traditional dinner is, right?
Although I don't know if this is true. Like I was playing around with Zoom the other day, and there's something called like breakout rooms. Like, did you
I
ever
did see that.
Zoom?
I did see.
I don't know what it means, but I'm guessing like if you,
me and you decide to bump out, yeah,
to talk on like in a different room.
Well, I'm going to try to show you how mine went. I'm going to share my screen, so do not text message me, anybody, right now. All right, let's see how this plays. Okay, are you seeing my screen yet? Yes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Now, can you see the video? Is that popping up? No?
No, it's a freeze frame.
But you see
here you go. You gotta press play. Okay.
Okay. And I don't know if volume's gonna come out, but we'll see. This is how mine went today. Can you hear it?
Very low. Can you make it louder?
Let me see.
I don't really hear.
Anyway.
Everybody looks confused. Everybody looks confused.
Yeah, it just took it. It just I cut it, but anyway, we spent, I'd say, the entire first 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get my parents on Zoom.
Yeah. Hey, but you know the thing is though, it kind of forces the older generations to learn how to use this new technology.
Definitely.
And
my mom was starting with, just forget about the whole thing at some point. My dad was like, no. He's like, no, we have to do this. Obviously my dad's very religious as well, so he, it's very important to him to this particular holiday. But at any rate, so what other things have you got going on, man? Tell me what's coming up on your show for the next week or so. Do you have some things?
So tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing one of the bishops in one of the local dioceses here in he's actually in Connecticut, but I'm in Jersey. And then we're supposed to have something called a virtual Pasquetta party.
Okay, tell me what is it?
So-
I haven't been
so-
invited to the party. What the?
Well, you have a show tomorrow, don't you?
I do. Yeah, tomorrow
Yeah,
is Art Sutley of Barbiz Magazine. Yes.
So it's kind of like Pasquetta is like it means Little Easter, and in Italy it's a big it's like another holiday. So that's kind of like so Easter you spend with your family, but Pasquetta you go to the countryside, what they call Campagna, and you spend it with your friends. You have a little picnic, you bring a little leftover pizzagana or pastiera, you
Yeah.
hang out, you BS, and you kind of enjoy the day. Because
Nice.
in Italy it's actually a holiday, so they get the day off.
Nice.
Not like here in America, we got the schmucks got to go back to work.
Every holiday, right?
I mean, because you have to have a holiday from a holiday in Italy.
Right. I love that. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
So we're gonna do this we're gonna try to do like a Pasquetta party. So we're kind of go on Zoom. We're gonna go live on At the Table with
YouTube.
Tony,
Yeah.
YouTube, and
Right.
we're gonna have just talk about what is pizzagana, what is pastiera, maybe talk about different kind of Italian traditions. So that's tomorrow night, and then
I can't wait. I'm
Tuesday-
gonna watch. Now, do we
We're
go
gonna be on
against? Do
TV.
we go against each other at 9:00?
I don't even know what time I think we're doing 8:00 tomorrow.
Okay, so listen. For anybody watching, you go to Tony Mangia's page at 8:00, and then you come over here for Live at Night.
Yeah,
I think
no.
we're not WWE versus WCW here. As you're wearing your shirt, right? Yeah.
Italian
IWO.
World Order.
Right.
And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're doing a 2-part series. So Tuesday night, we're going to be teaming up with the Italian enclaves.
Oh boy, we got to pop in.
We got to
Okay.
pop in.
I think this is going to be Chris. I think Chris is going to pop in sometimes. Now, this is a new feature where people just pop in. We've had a great chat here. I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know what the conversation's going to be. We'll see. And I don't, just for the record, I don't block security. I let anybody pop in when they want. Chris, are you there?
Hey guys, how we doing?
Hey,
We're
what's
not
up?
seeing your visual. We're not seeing your visual.
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
There he is. Oh, look at you. Oh, God. Oh, man. Okay, so
happy Easter.
Chris
Happy
is
Easter, guys. How we doing?
All
we're
right.
good, man. So yesterday you popped in and interrupted interrupt is the wrong word, but you popped in to a serious chat about the travel industry and how it was affected. And you popped in with a story about giving a hooker a ride to
I'm not sure if she was a hooker. I can't confirm or deny.
but it definitely threw everybody in. After you left, everybody was like, "Whoa!"
Whoa.
yeah. But this is what a poppin' is. You don't know, because really in life, right? But back in the day, when we used to be able to get out, people would just pop in, and then you know what I mean. You didn't know what they were going to talk about. The poppin' is very awkward. You don't know where we're going to go with this. So, welcome to the pop-in section of our Live at Night tonight. What you got for me, buddy?
Nothing. Sorry. I just wanted to hang out with you guys.
Yeah. So let me ask you this then, man. Today is Easter, right? Easter Sunday. Tony Mangia and I were just going over what he did for it, and you can show him what you have there. The pizzagana. Have you ever had one of these?
Oh,
Chris?
pizzagana. Here we go. Yeah.
I sure have. I think Pete, you might have made me one time.
I think my mom made it for us. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's dope. I love it.
Yeah. So what did you do today for Easter? What did you do food-wise?
I really didn't get into the actual Easter spirit, unfortunately.
Sorry.
Usually, excuse me, I get to hang out with my sister-in-law and her family back in New Jersey.
Nice.
And it's a big feast, good time. But since I'm out here in Florida doing my own thing, I got to work out. I hit up a brewery that was doing packaged goods and meals. So I got a little bit of both.
I mean, listen, I don't think you're outrageous. I think that what we were just talking about before you popped in is that the traditional Easter thing is off the topic. What is that phrase? It's off hook. It's off.
Out of the picture.
It's discontinued, right?
For now, yeah.
For now, it's hard to do. Like Tony Mangia usually makes lamb.
Ooh,
Can't make it.
Skip
Tony,
the lamb.
what shirt are you wearing?
Italian World Order.
Wow, for life.
Yep, gotta love it. And
That's
mine
cool.
is the Game Master, which would be from the movie Midnight Madness. So yeah, and what do you got? Montauk Brewing Company. I love it.
Yes,
So
a lot of good things happen in Montauk.
Are places open in Florida?
Yeah.
Not just everything's to go.
To go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty much the consensus throughout.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We had ravioli here, but it was store bought, because again with the ingredients debacle.
Sure.
But this afternoon I had McDonald's.
Fuck. Hell yeah.
Right? What was it gonna
open.
do?
It was open.
Yeah, but I can't go downstairs and grab my mom's. But even when I was there, my mom was not allowing anybody to come in. So taking the coronavirus to a whole other.
Oh, real? Oh, so even she wasn't letting you in the house?
No, she would not let us in. When I left, you can imagine moving to California would create a lot of sadness and a dramatic music, maybe an underscore, giving your parents a hug goodbye. They waved at me through the window. Okay.
Jeez.
Okay. That was.
I would have lost it if I had to say goodbye to you.
Well, we have had to. A
few times.
Yes, multiple times, and I'm sure once again somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
I almost cried saying goodbye to Tony Manja.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It was sad.
Again, guys, I'll be back quite a bit. So.
Well, once the virus ends, the virus has to get it the hell out of here.
It is crazy, man. So, Chris, I want to ask you about this, and you have not discussed this anywhere, but Tony Manja's a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling fan. I know you hate talking about wrestling, but it's a part of your speed. Two things. One, you're going to give a very robotic answer to. Second, but first of all, what did you think of WrestleMania? Because WrestleMania was held this year.
It was?
Yeah, but it was done at their training center, okay, and there was no crowd, and they did stuff where they made movies about the matches instead of actual matches. But they were fighting sequences. Yeah. It was that the best way to. It was bizarre, very bizarre. So,
but is there a chance that they were? I mean, did they test these people before they touched each other or whatever? Wrestled?
A couple of wrestlers pulled off of Mania. Yep. Roman Reigns did not wrestle because he was concerned that he would have the Chinese virus and the coronavirus. And also, I heard that The Miz pulled from his match because of he had a fever in the morning. So, I mean, that was just from a podcast. I had heard that. I don't have an inside scoop anywhere. Yeah.
Sure. I think they did the best with what they had. It was really interesting to watch it in an empty arena every match, and they worked with what they had. So it is what it is.
I think Eric Bischoff's podcast said it the best. There are some talent that knows how to sort of do it because they've been around for a long time. And then there are some talent where their inexperience just pops through. And, playing for the crowd when there's no crowd is a little embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like looking for feedback and trying to pump everybody up. There's no one to pump up. So don't even do that. Be inner about it, maybe. That's
my question is, like you said, like when the crowd would cheer, would jeer, whatever. So how did they like you didn't hear anything? Like
just boom,
wasn't even
bang,
like
boom, boom. Oh, they would talk shit to each other too. I'm really gonna knock you out. I'm really gonna knock you out.
Were there commentators?
Yes, there was commentators. Now, what do you think, Chris, that McMahon wants to have the wrestlers go back on the road and start going live every Monday again?
I don't know. I have no. I'm just learning about that today myself. And
robot answer.
I don't know what.
I think it's a good idea. If the team thinks that we should do it, we should do it. Yeah.
Here's my issue with that. If I were to have an issue, if I'm flying in if I lived in a different state and I'm flying in every week to Florida, I'm doing like 2 to 3 different flights a week.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm going to definitely interact with somebody who does not realize they have the coronavirus, and then I'm going to bring it to the PC, the arena, whatever, and pass it along. I think it might backfire.
Yeah. I think it was fine for WrestleMania because it was pre-taped at a time when the virus was still in initial stages, you know, but I think now going live on the road is dangerous. And also, Matt Hardy's wife posted on Twitter, wrestlers are not essential workers. So there's no reason for them to be out. It's a very simple kind of phrase. Now, Manja, and go ahead. I'm sorry, Chris.
I don't know if this is true or not. Do you guys know if this is true or not? I feel like, Tony, you would know. Are churches open during this time?
No. This is just what we were into. Yeah, we were just
Well,
kind of,
at least in North Jersey they're not. In New York they're not. I don't know about
Midwest, I'm going to tell you guys, listen, I've said this every night since I've driven cross country. It's like I'm a fucking one-trick pony on this story now. But in the Midwest, Iowa, Nebraska, Colorado a little different. All of these kind of Midwest cities, they are clueless about this virus.
So everything's open.
Everything's open. Nobody's wearing a mask. The signs are up because of COVID-19. You know what I mean? It's like someone hand wrote it, you know. Because of that, you know, everything's closed. Things are closed. Rest stops are closed, you know. But I'm saying the things that are open, they're not wearing masks. They're not wearing gloves. There's just no respect to this at all.
But can you eat in the place? Can you like sit down
you can't eat in the place.
Oh, so it's all to go.
It broke my heart not to be able to sit in Al's Italian Beef in Chicago. I mean, it just changed like this. Have you seen Cuomo do any of that shit?
Yeah.
I can't hug my daughter, you know. I love him. I think he's amazing. I don't know. We don't really get into politics aside, but
I like him too. I think he's handling this pretty good. Actually.
I think it's the best. How do you feel like? I know you've been a constant critic of Murphy. How do you think he's doing?
For the most part, I think he's doing pretty good. I mean, there's some things he could have acted a little sooner on.
Sure.
That's. I mean, 20. What they say? Hindsight's 20/20. So I mean, but I think for the most part, like I think he should have closed the parks when this all happened.
Yes.
Instead of keeping them open. So now they're.
I also think
parks.
weddings should have gotten shut down sooner.
Oh, I thought that was the first thing to go. One of the first things to go.
Well, March 14th, I had a wedding, so. You know, and I feel bad for that couple. I've talked about that on here a couple of times. Like, I mean, they were really in a damned, you know, okay, so March 20th, you can sort of make a decision on, right? Because it's 2 weeks away. But the week literally that they said you have to shut down is the week that your wedding is. I mean, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You know, it's a tough one.
No, you're I mean, my heart breaks for those kind of people.
Yeah.
Those people that had to. Even people now, they have to reschedule. Well, I think we talk a little bit to what's his name, Tim.
Yes,
having to reschedule his.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I really wish he would have. I really wish he would have popped in tonight, but he's knee deep into Easter. So,
I saw Tim was at a church.
Definitely not.
If you're friends with him on Instagram, you see him at a church.
I'm sure it's like my live at night Insta. Oh, your dog is really off the chain tonight.
Exactly.
Now, Chris, I wanted to ask you about this too. I noticed you're getting a little heavy. I only say that as a transition to say,
wow,
gyms are closed.
Talk. But I like it.
I'm just kidding. I don't think you're getting heavy, but tell me about gyms being closed and what you're doing in terms of working out.
I think since this virus took place and everything got closed down, it's one thing to tell yourself that you're going to go and exercise and work out. It's another to do it.
Yeah.
That's what's happening with me. Today, I got a kick-ass workout. I went to the park, shirt off, weight, running, like something out of a bad 80s movie.
Nice.
But besides that, the diet's been really bad. It's been whatever is open. Beer,
yeah. What else are you going to do?
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, Manja, in your world, outside of the food industry and being social and all that stuff, I know I'm Marty McFly here, right? Like, I know that you're in construction and whatnot. Did you finally get shut down?
No, we're still working, because we're not on like a construction. And actually, that's another thing he should have shut down sooner was construction sites.
Definitely,
because there's 500 guys and there's one porta john. You guys, I mean, that's some serious.
Anthony, before I left Lyndhurst, they were doing road work in the middle of the street. I was like, guys, what the fuck are you doing here? I was like, fuck, you can't do this now.
No, he's allowing infrastructure, which makes sense. I mean, all these roads that have potholes, these bridges they're trying to finish, do it now when nobody's on the road.
Exactly.
Don't wait to do it.
Right.
Don't wait to do it while it's the middle of summer. You're trying to go down the shore and you get bumper to bumper traffic. Do it now.
Like a jerk off. Yeah, trying to get back from a wedding, but it's only supposed to be a 45-minute ride, and then you're an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah.
but I mean, but no, for me personally, we don't. There's only a few people in my office, so it isn't like Moon Boots.
What is that? Moon Boots.
It's a fantastic brewery nearby.
Nice. Is that the name of the brewery? Is that the name of the brewery?
Yeah.
Moon Boot?
No, it's called Sideward Brewing.
Nice. What? Manja's a beer aficionado.
Oh, all right. Cool.
I like to drink beer. That's why I got the Bonzette.
Same.
And my wife cut my hair. She did a great job.
I am fully on these deals now because there is no more hair.
Look at my hair.
Yeah, look at this. Let's everybody show our hats, our hairs.
Oh, we're doing it?
Yeah. Nice. You rock it. You got your you got your pacey thing going today.
Yeah, I don't. I actually, what I want to do is I want to buzz the whole thing. I think that would be a lot easier just to buzz it.
I'm letting it all grow in. That's been my theory.
Oh, you're gonna let it grow in?
Opposite. Yeah, the opposite of that. Yeah.
Because I just figured by the time we're allowed out, at least my hair will look nice again. I mean,
How many now? Obviously, you have your show, Manja, that you do, and I've been doing Live at Night, and Chris has been popping in for these Zooms. Are you doing other Zooms as well, Chris, or is it just kind of this show, or is it nice to be able to see people via Zoom?
I really enjoy this one the most. I did get offered to do one yesterday that covered an upcoming hip hop album that was being released. Nice. I just kind of forgot about it.
Right, it happens. But it is one thing that came out of this is I feel like Manja probably tonight or tomorrow night we would have gone to to Belmont or something like that, and so that's lost. You know what I mean? We can't actually dine, but I've seen you probably more because of the virus than the amount of times that we go to Belmont. We probably go to Belmont once a month, right? But you've been on my show 3 or 4 times already, so and probably more. I have the week's schedule right in front of me. I don't have next week's, so just plot yourself in for one of them. Yeah.
I actually know what. I think but again, like you said, I think it's fun to do these things because it kind of gives us, like you said, it's a way to kind of use up some energy that we have pent up, a way to us to kind of explore different avenues. Because really, what would we be doing at night? Watching TV, watching the news.
Right. We don't want to know about that. I don't want to see anything from the news. Yeah. What do you got, Chris? Did you have something?
Hey, Tony. I didn't get to ask you. What did you wind up doing for Easter dinner?
Oh, well, we made pork loin. We made a nice stuffed pork loin, roasted potatoes and onions, and some green beans, some pizza gaina. We had some of this for dessert.
Yeah.
Pastiera.
Love it, man.
Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff.
So cool.
But now, okay, so we're going to wrap up here. We've got, 6:50. I don't think we could talk about Easter traditions all that much more. But, Manja, what I want to do, I think, what I think would be good for you is there's probably a lot of older people watching the show this tonight, or younger people of all ages that were used to going to their churches this weekend, right? But they were not able to attend or they were not able to have a family celebration. What do you want to say to those people that are watching this and are kind of concerned about this particular weekend in time?
I'd say keep the faith. I mean, what else? We have to keep our faith in Jesus Christ. That's the most important thing we can do whenever there's whether it's a good time or a bad time. If we have our faith, that's all we need. That's the most important thing. I mean, these pestilences, these plagues will come and go, but if you have our faith in the Lord, we have our family and friends, even though we can't see them or be with them personally, we can still have the connection through Zoom, through the phone. So my advice is just to keep the faith because this. They say this too shall pass.
Right.
And it sucks. Believe me, it's just, this sucked. It's terrible.
Yeah. But we don't know how much longer it's going to go. We talked a couple of times about feeling uncomfortable in places. Will you feel uncomfortable moving forward in a crowded gym for you, Chris? Do you think you'll feel uncomfortable being in a gym in the future when it opens?
I think once it's announced that we're all allowed outside together, I'm still going to give it like a week and a half before I actually do.
Yeah, I think that's fair. You know,
well, one of the concerns is I think in other countries, I think it was like Japan or South Korea, they had a spike recently after their numbers were going down. So that is
another
scary
concern.
Yeah, that is a scary thing.
Yeah, and it might happen. I would say to everybody that's watching this and is concerned, as you said, this shall pass. We all got to see each other. We're probably seeing each other more. New ideas are coming up, new conversations, and so at the very least, whenever the next holiday is, we can talk about this. Right? You know, remember that shit last year? Oh my God. You know, I didn't even make the lamb. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for being on Live at Night. Chris, I very much appreciate it to pop in. And Tony Manja, it's always good having you talking about food. And we'll do a lot more of that coming soon. So thank you for watching Live at Night if you were. And I'll see you tomorrow when I have Art Sutley of Bar Biz Magazine. We're going to talk about the bar business and how that's been affected. Maybe we get Chuck on here too, Chris, at that point, and see if he can.
I'll see if he's not busy, and I'll contact him.
Yeah, maybe you can pop in too, and he can ask some good questions to Art. Art is the king of all bars. So there you go. I just gave him a new title. All right, thanks, guys.
Later.